Welcome to the Advertising Heat Check, where we keep a real-time pulse on what's heating up and what's cooling off in the marketing and specifically advertising worlds. This is honest insight from marketers actually in the arena right now. Each episode, we ask two questions: what's heating up and what's cooling down? I'm Matt Behrend, a marketing veteran and CEO of Agility. I'm very excited today for us to get insights from Rachel Poulos. She's a boss. She's been building and leading marketing teams across performance and brand and even broader go-to-market strategies. And she's done it for brands like Patagonia and the Met and the Weather Channel that we all know and love and depend on. Her perspective is particularly valuable for marketing and advertising leaders in mid-enterprise companies because she's been there. She's navigated the tension between delivering immediate results and building that long-term sustainable growth that's so critical. So Rachel, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, of course. One of my favorite things about you is that you love music. You described how it brings cherished memories to the surface for
Mhm.
you, of loved ones. What's been happening for you in the music world lately?
Yeah, I recently took my oldest child to an AFI concert. I used to love them in high school and would go to their concerts, and now I was able to take my oldest there and he enjoyed it. He loved it. And so it was great to bring together the past and the present together and just have that shared memory there. So that right now that's one of my right now greatest memories that I've just recently had with music.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So my kids are just a little bit older than yours. I had the opportunity to do a similar thing. I took two of my kids to a band that I loved, Dashboard Confessional.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Judge me if you want to. Anyway, amazing experience. I totally get
Mhm.
that. Well, let's get into it. Time for the heat check. So tell me what's heating up in marketing or advertising in your world right now.
Yes. So we have started our events channel. So last year was really our full year that we did events, and we were able to take all these learnings and now apply them to this year. And what's been really great is that we've actually done a full system around these. So we've actually done targeted outreach before the event. We've had a clear booth experience. I think that's something that's really important, as well as a post event conversion plan. And so when I mean events, these are like trade shows and these are your conferences as well. And it's not just about having a booth and just or a sponsorship and attending, but really having a plan where you're giving your sales team the action of what it is that they need to achieve, goals and step by step plan. And we've seen really great conversions come out of it. I mean, we were looking at probably a 6x ROAS last year, and our close rate has also increased about 80% from 4 when we dabbled into it a little bit. And I think what's really interesting with these events that we've noticed is that you actually have the ability to meet people who are highly qualified within your ICP. And when you're meeting in person with them, you're also able to establish that trust fairly quickly. You're able to show your product, your services, like one to one, and that trust is just has been amazing in our experience.
That's amazing. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Fantastic results. It makes sense. The world is getting noisier. There's almost a trend away from screens, away from digital interactions. It's been interesting. At the same time, we're seeing dramatic impact from digital brand advertising. I think it's at the very least a shift in people wanting, even demanding, more emotional experiences and less transactional experiences. So whether it's in
Sure.
person, or just emotional storytelling, both seem to have a big impact. Say more about a clear booth. What do you mean by that?
Yeah. So when we design our booth, we put a lot of thought into it, a lot of thought into the experience. So when is to come up, either a walk up or if we already scheduled an appointment at our booth, it's what is it that we want them to get out of our booth? What's the first thing that they're going to feel? What's the first thing that they're going to think about our booth? That's why our messaging through trial and error in the past, our booth was probably a little too busy, and that was a lot of feedback that we received from our sales team that attended. It's a lot. It's harder to read when there's so much text, so many images. So we made sure that we pared down our messaging to the most impactful ones that we've used in our sales messaging and our sales calls, and also our brand promises including points where our sales team can also point to it and say, like, this is what our clients have seen. So that way they're also helping, the booth helps to also sell. It helps sell itself as well. And we've also used our explainer video, a lot of movement as well. We're recently testing what we call your ads in the wild with clients, where we give them the customer journey of like what it looks like for you to see your ads during different points in your customer's journey. So if it's whether digital out of home, display, mobile ads, completing a Google search, all the way to final to completion. And those have been performing so well in our client sales pitches.
So it sounds like you're being extremely thoughtful about the customer experience. You're designing meaningful experiences from before the show. I don't think you mentioned it, but I know that you do a lot of work pre-show
Yes,
to create personalized experiences that are
that's right.
meaningful and custom. And then at the show, there's something there. Let me ask you this, because I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, do you give away swag at the shows?
So we hardly use swag.
Yeah.
So it definitely is a point where we've always gone back and forth. Do we use swag? Do we not? Right? There's always the chance that you would get someone to come up to your booth, but they may not be highly qualified. Or it's also, what do we give? Is a pen enough to entice someone to continue a conversation
Well,
versus maybe something that's a little more memorable? So it definitely goes back and forth, and like, how can we get people to come and talk to us, right? One, with our messaging, but two, also keep them ahead and also adding to that experience through swag. We don't want to just give out pens, right, that just have our name on them. We want it to, again, to combine with the experience that they're having at the booth and also talking to our team.
one of my favorite giveaways that you've done is a Starbucks gift card. It seems
Yeah,
really simple, but it's
right,
branded really nicely, and it's something that they're going to keep, and they're going to use it 5 to 10 times. Like, it's not a
right.
small amount of money, and you're not giving it to everybody, but you know that they're going to pull that out and use it and think about you 5 to 10 more times after the show and read your value proposition. So
Exactly.
that's a powerful one. I love it. I hate swag. It's like no serious buyer cares about swag. Well, that's awesome advice. Let's switch over to the reality check. So we know that events and personalized experiences and real
Yeah.
connection is heating up in the marketing and advertising world. What is cooling down? What's not working anymore?
Yeah. So my background is a lot in performance marketing. And I think one thing that right now is not heating up is definitely over reliance on one to two performance channels. That definitely creates a fragile pipeline. I think we've all seen the KPI metrics that have been increasing. They've already been steadily increasing. But I think what's really important is that a lot of teams probably tend to confuse efficiency with scalability. So just because something seems like it's growing doesn't mean that's going to be infinite, right? And if you're only focusing on or capturing demand, but not necessarily in creating that demand, it's going to run out eventually. And one thing that is really important, I think, for marketers is that they need to look at their channels as a portfolio and really diversify, right? You can still have your performance channels, but you also need to balance that with creating a demand, but also additional growth channels. Like we've focused a lot on events. That is another one that we've seen that is a really great growth channel, right? And we're looking to others as well, especially with performance marketing and the rising costs that we've seen personally within our channels.
That's huge. I think it's a lesson that many companies are going through right now, right?
Yeah.
Frustrated with the rising costs in search and social, the black box nature of it,
Yes.
difficulty measuring across those different channels, right? So yeah, diversifying into other channels is critical. All right, Rachel, before we go, what's making you happier or smarter lately?
Oh man. So, other than going to concerts,
Uh,
I've actually been trying to get into crocheting again. I have this problem where I can't stop thinking, and I'm always thinking and maybe I overthink a little too much, especially at work when it comes to events and strategy. So crocheting really takes my mind off of it because I need to concentrate on making sure that the needle goes where it needs to be. So I've been focusing on doing that a lot more art to just clear my mind.
Honestly, I identify with that a lot. There are days when I go home and I feel like I just need to do some manual labor. Like I just need to
Right.
swing a hammer. I need to, do something that's not like, looking at a screen and doing
Mhm.
intense thought work. Thank you so much for joining me today and sharing that learning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. I had a really great time.
Well, that's it for today's heat check. If that was useful, please send it to another marketing leader who's making hard calls right now in the arena. The more we share what's actually working right now, the better we all get. A quick thank you to our sponsor, Lucchese. So Lucchese's been handcrafting boots since 1883 with precision, discipline, and zero shortcuts. In a world chasing trends, they build products that last. Check out lucchese.com. Honestly, I didn't know anything about Lucchese. I wasn't like their target customer. Since I've gotten to know them, their apparel and their boots are incredible. I've become a customer. You guys should check it out. I didn't know this. The most famous people all wear Lucchese. It's kind of one of the best kept secrets. Their history is kind of mind blowing. So check them out and
Yeah.
subscribe to the Advertising Heat Check to learn the best of what's working in advertising today from the best that do it.